Are you transforming or are you conforming? Are you simply reacting to life or are you setting the tone for your life? Here's a really tough question for you. Are you the thermostat or the thermometer in your world? Most people passively follow the status quo, but real leaders don't wait to create. Today, we're about to challenge everything you think you know about living a fulfilled life. We're going to discuss what the difference between a thermometer is and being a thermostat is. We're going to give some real life examples of what being that thermostat looks like. And finally, we're going to end off with 5 steps that I personally have done to make the transition from thermometer to thermostat. Thermometers measure the temperature in a room. A thermostat sets that temperature. It creates the room. A thermometer reads the environment and is influenced by that environment. It displays or reflects back the environment, the temperature in the room. A thermostat creates that environment. So are you shaping your environment or is your environment shaping you? Let's talk real world for a second. I have a buddy that says, I don't do competition. I am the competition. And when he first said that to me, I was perplexed by it. I didn't quite understand it. And then he broke it down for me, and I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to discover how when we adapt this attitude, you can blaze your own path instead of following someone else's. He owned a pizzeria, and he used recipes that were handed down through generations. His sauce recipe was 100 years old. He had ingredients flown in from Italy, from his family farms in Italy. So he had that unique advantage, right? During the 2008 market downturns, he expanded his catering business. All the restaurants took a big hit, but he expanded. He expanded his catering business. He asked a very important question. In innovation, he had to ask that important question. And he asked, how can I serve the community? His community commuted an hour and a half from New York City. So when they got home, they didn't really feel like cooking. He would deliver right to the train station. They would order their meals in the morning, and when they got off the train, Metro North, he'd be waiting there, and he would hand them their orders. And that created business. He was innovating. Nobody else was doing that. Imagine after a long day, you take a 2-hour train ride, you're up probably 12, 14 hours at this point, and you get off the train, and dinner's there waiting for you. During COVID, thermometers, they said, oh, well, I can't operate. I can't sit at home and worry. That's all I can do is sit at home and worry. Like, what am I going to do? They were letting external forces set the temperature. Thermostats said, I'll serve food outside. I'll create drive-thrus. I'll do home deliveries. Home and delivery shot up, right? All the restaurants had tables outside. We had a hardware store here locally, and he would stand outside, meet you at the curb. You would tell him, this is what I need. You'd give him the shopping list. He'd run into the store, pick everything out off the shelf, and bring it out to you. They were setting their standard. The point being, they didn't allow external challenges to crush them. There's always going to be external challenges. They didn't let those challenges take control. They seized control back by setting a new standard. When the state pulled me personally, when the state pulled my preschool license and they closed us down for COVID, I started writing trainings for all preschool teachers, not just my preschool teachers. I started training everybody. This established my school as the school. If you guys are training the trainers, right? If you guys are teaching the teachers, that makes us the tip of the spear. I was meeting with clients via Zoom, which kind of sucked. We all know that, but it was better than nothing. And I took additional space. I actually expanded the footprint of my preschool during COVID. Businesses were dropping left and right, yet I was doubling my footprint, and hence doubling the impact I could have on the community. I revamped my curriculum. Preschools need to have a approved curriculum. So I designed my own curriculum, and I petitioned the state to have it approved. And now no one can teach what I'm teaching because I innovated. That curriculum's mine. Nobody else is allowed to use it. It's mine. I eliminate competition. Because if you want what I'm teaching, if you resonate with what I'm teaching, there's only one place you can get it. The question now is, how does somebody that's a thermometer become a thermostat? If you're letting external pressures control your mood, your decisions, your direction, I'm here to share with you my secrets for flipping the switch and stepping out of being the thermometer and stepping into the world of the thermostat. Here are my 5 steps that I take. The first step is I become self-aware. I'm always asking myself why I'm responding in the way I'm responding. So I want you to slow things down. That's the first step of awareness. Live in the present moment. Start journaling. Journaling helps in this step, if that's something that you do. And journal about asking yourself why you responded to that challenge the way you did. Was it intentional? Or did you react from autopilot and emotion? Did you allow the external condition to dictate what you did? Did you respond through your core values and what you stand for? And that's step 2. Identify your core values. Set your goals. Your core values give you a filter to make decisions through. Your goals give you direction and where you want to move towards. So if you know where you're headed, and you can decide on the path that you're going to take, you're in a much better position to be that thermostat. But if you have no idea where you're going, then how can you make the decision? You then just kind of like bob around the water like a boat without a captain. The third step I take is I take ownership. Taking ownership, taking responsibility for how you respond to the challenges, regardless of how challenging they may be. Regardless of who actually is at fault. When you take responsibility, you retain control. I tweak my language. I tweak it here from, let's see, they made me do it. I had to do it, like stuff like that. Like when I'm using language that is blaming the outside forces, the external forces, I tweak that language and I start using language like I choose or I decide. That's internal language. That's bringing it back to me. Number 4, I focus on what I can control. This is big. During COVID, I couldn't control the virus. I couldn't control that the state shut down preschools. I could control my communication. I could control how I led my staff, how I communicated with my staff, and how I communicated with my clients. I could control what the next steps would be for my school. Things like curriculum we spoke about, training teachers, expanding my footprint, all things that COVID actually gave me the opportunity to do, because even though it was extremely chaotic and people didn't really know exactly what was going on or what the future exactly looked like, I kind of knew what the future looked like because I had those goals. I had that insight. So executing on the things that are in my control puts me in the best position possible when the state opens up the floodgates, says you can go back to work, right? Boom, now I'm off to the races before everybody else. And the last one, number 5, I set clear intentions. Having clear intentions is similar to setting goals because it offers you direction. A thermostat knows where it's going, right? You set that temperature on the thermostat knows the conditions it expects to produce. In that same light, as part of my daily routine, I lay out what my intentions are for the day, this meeting, this trip, this encounter, whatever it may be. It's kind of like mini goals set for very specific moments in life. It's based upon what my core values are and the standard I want to set. So there you go, 5 ways I use to move my needle, move from reacting like a thermometer to responding like a thermostat. Self-awareness, identifying and responding through core values and my goals. Taking ownership, focusing on what I can control, and setting clear intentions for the day and the individual events that I may encounter. You see, leaders don't just watch, they move, they set, they define, they make the standards. So today you've learned how to make the switch, but the real challenge is this. Are you ready to stop measuring life and start leading it? I challenge you to take one bold action today. That bold action that sets you apart from the crowd, that makes you your own individual. Be the thermostat, set the temperature, and let the others follow. Don't do competition. I am the competition. I don't do competition. I am the competition. Guys, around here, we live up in the numerator, not down in the denominator. Go out there today and be unstoppable and absolutely crush your day. Guys, I'm all pumped up. I love spending time with you guys. Have a very, very blessed day.